Guess what he did? Loved it. Happy as Guess what we did? Booked an appointment, right? For a guy who wasn't happy before, but guess what it is? Boom, I'm hitting every single area of that. You got to do that right now.
Hey, this is Blake Sloan. I've been selling real estate over 14 years. Our team of highly trained professionals, along with our unmatched marketing, has sold thousands of homes here in the Myrtle Beach area, and this is how we do it.
Chris asked me a question about, hey, look, last night, here's the last one here. He's grinding. I was leaving too. And he said, man, what was it like when you were doing this before? How many did you have to have in your bucket? I'm not really sure what to do there. And I let him know back then I didn't have the same technology. It was basically me with agent office having to call people who were just set up in Paragon. So I couldn't tell who was looking at what. I just had to keep constantly calling, building a relationship, finding when they're coming into town, write my notes. Right? But I said, look, man, you got to get to, ideally, and your question was what? That you were stuck between how much do I focus on new business looking for the low-hanging fruit, and how much time do I spend on my bucket, which is people who are in there. That's important. But one thing I told him, I was like, look, you got to get simple on this. You want 200 people in your bucket who love you. Meaning, when I call, it's my ultimate goal, right? I call them and say, hey, Blake, how you doing? I want that connection with them. Connection. And this is what I was telling Chris yesterday. I said, look, my experience in watching this and doing this and spending millions of dollars generating leads and myself making hundreds of thousands of calls, 80% of your money plus is made in your B buyers in your bucket, or even your B sellers. Why is that?
Most people are Bs.
Yeah. Everyone almost is a B. And even the A's were a B before that, you're just getting them in the funnel at that time. And so, why is that? Well, it's a big ticket product we sell here. Right? Real estate's a big ticket product. People think that purchasing is a one-time event. It's not an event, it's a process. Back to what we trained you guys on here and converting their mindset, Bob at point A, Bob at point B, Bob at point C, right? And so I got to understand that I need to make sure I'm able to do that. And so almost all your money is here. Now, I got to keep filling that 20% because the 20% is now money. That's my now money. So I got to do it, and I got to keep building in my bucket. Part of my bucket, people going to die, they're going to not move here, they're going to come away, right? Whatever it is. All those things happen. And so my main value is in my people who I'm following up with. Now watch this, and I'll talk about this today because it drives me crazy. I've talked about this for weeks. I go through the site, I see it over and over. I go through the site, I see it over and over. You know what people do? They put somebody in the bucket. What do? No, they do it. They call them. And then what?
They just log call attempts.
The f***ing notes literally say, lead call, no message. I'm like, what the f***? Well, how many calls you guys get on your phone today? 20 plus? 30 plus? Right?
8 or 9 this morning.
Yeah, at least. So guess how many of your clients are getting? Just as many or more. Right? And so I've got to be very strategic in my follow-up. You've got to be very strategic. What does that mean? I can't be lazy. So I got to do what? I call. If I get them on the phone, I connect. I was telling Chris, all my people, I'm just looking back, I can remember the exact places I was sitting, the exact offices, all the places we've been at, is that I was calling in and we were bros. Or it feels like Miss Mary, right, from up north in New Jersey, guess what? I'm like Miss Mary's grandson down here in Myrtle Beach. I'm her connect, and we connect on a deep level. And it's not through the words I say. What's it through? Energy. Hey, Miss Mary, how you doing? Right? It has to be the extra oomph you put into it. Now, if they don't answer, what I got to do? Now, this seems so simple. Why the fuck don't people do it? Right? I leave a message. With what? Energy. Leave a message with energy. Hey, Miss Mary, it's Blake from Myrtle Beach. How you doing? I was just thinking about you and wanted to call and see how things are going and see how your church is going. More importantly, I want to see what I can do to help make your search better for you on the website. Give me a call back as soon as you can on my cell phone number, 843, right? What am I doing there? I'm coming from a place of service. And I'm letting her know what? I was thinking about her and that I care. This is all details of what? Psychology. Okay? Now, when Miss Mary hears that, if she does hear that, what's she think? Wow, he's actually sweet and he actually cares. And he's got some pretty good energy. And so you got to be aware of that. Now, most chances, if you get that call, she doesn't know that's me calling in the first, 15 or 20 calls. Send a text message. Why? People don't check their voicemails, dude. Right? 23% of people you call, their voicemail's full.
Or not set up.
They're not set up, right? And so the thing is, you got to make sure that you're doing what? The extra step. Everyone gets so lazy right here. You got to systematize this. If you need to use Boomtown, like, well, I don't like using Boomtown because it's not my cell number. Well, you don't text them from your cell phone number anyways, right? So use Boomtown so you can type and copy and paste. If they call that number back, what do they do? It forwards you anyways. I want to talk about speed and efficiency. Speed and efficiency. So when I text them through there, what I do? Control-C, Control-V, whatever it is, or I hit the drop down, boom, I'm done. It's about the system playing the part. I can also go back into my notes and say what? Well, I've texted Ms. Mary 23 times or whatever it was. She responded, and guess what? She responds it logs it. Why is that? Because I have 200 people in my bucket who I need to care about. I don't really need to understand what my conversations were. But the last thing I'm going to be doing is on my phone all day trying to text people. Why is that? Why do I want to do that?
It breaks my mental.
It's not efficient. It's not efficient at all. Everybody's like, well, it's not the same number. They don't give a f***. They don't even know your number in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? They don't know your number in the first place, so just keep texting from that part. Efficiency. Well, I use my cell phone. Not really, dude, because I can tell in the way your follow-up is that you don't. I can just tell. And there's no way if you're efficient, you're selling a lot of houses, that you have 200 plus people in your bucket that you can remember on your cell phone and you're typing to. Okay, it's all about efficiency here. Now, on top of that, what's the third thing? Email. Guess how many people I've seen do that? About 0%. A few people maybe. People have been here for a while, same thing. Why is this important to do? It's very important. Now, what I just got here is I got 3 impressions in Miss Mary's mind in one day. I do this over 2 and 3 and 4 weeks from a compound interest standpoint, right? I got my phone call, I got my voicemail, my text. That's 4 impressions to someone who has a relationship with me. Now, this is not some random brand new lead. Just clarify this, right? This is someone who's in my bucket, who I'm building a relationship with, which I know is where 80% of my money comes in. I do that week 2, she doesn't answer. Week 3, guess what all of a sudden they do? They answer. Right? And guess what? I've earned respect in their mind because I followed up. What most of y'all are doing, though, is you're calling. You're on a dialer, taking a lazy approach, not doing the process here, and you're missing out on where most of the money's at. The money is in connection. The money is in connection. Not necessarily connection to the phone, but connection to you. Now, if they're a high-end buyer, guess what I might add in here? Video. Right? Video on BombBomb either way. Not some mass email, a personalized message to them. Why is that? Because I got to be able to separate from the noise. Miss Mary's getting 10 other agents, call her too. And so I've got to make sure that I'm able to do what's most important. The same thing with sellers, man. It's all about who's the most aggressive in the follow-up and gets them back. Everyone in here, I was telling Alex this, there's probably 10 plus deals a week we lose to people not doing this. Probably 10 plus deals a week. And many of y'all had the situation happen where you call them and guess what your people did? They bought. You're like, how the f*** they buy? You go back and look at your follow-up, you're like, dude, here's exactly why. I told that last week in a one-on-one. I say, look, go back and look at and diagnose, right, your follow-up history. You can see exactly when they went with someone else, why they bought with someone else, because it's not consistent and it's not multi-pronged approach. You could get away with not doing this 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But now you have to make sure you're able to do it. Now, here's also the thing. If you text them, they respond to you. Now you're able to be in their phone. They're not going to. The technology is not going to screen you and block you out as much. Does that make sense? If they're a contact in there, they're going to recognize that as a number you talked to before. So that's the key part here. Now, what does this take? This takes discipline. That's what wins the game here. Right? Discipline. That's important to you guys to make sure you look at that. Is it take a little extra time? You better believe it, but guess what? You stack me up 3 weeks from you doing it the one linear way, I'm going to blow you out the water and take your people. And so that's the key part there, what you're able to do. Why is that? Impressions. Right? You need, I can't remember the exact number, but it's like, 50, 60 impressions for somebody who even knows your name consistently on a marketing standpoint. Okay, and so how fast can I get to 60 impressions with Miss Mary? Well, I'll tell you one way, I'm going to differentiate by doing this. Now, if I want to get good at this, I'm sending them, what? Pictures audios, all those things separately, but make sure I'm understanding the system, getting to 200 people who I'm doing this consistently. If you just do this over and over and over, they're going to stick with you. Perfect example, I was at my radio show on Friday. We had a guy call in, wanted to sell his house, right? Told Holly that he only want to talk to me, didn't want to talk to anybody else, blah, blah, which we get that all the time. Joe called, which usually Joe does, right? He was mad at us because we didn't listen to him and didn't do what he said. He doesn't want to do business with us, right? So Joel told me, I said, no problem, right? Guess what I did? Called him. Guess what happened? Didn't answer. So you know what I did? Let's voicemail. You can't remember his name. Remember his name? No, whatever. Let's say it was. What's up, man? It's Blake Sloan. Hey, I'm sorry. We had miscommunication. I was on a radio show earlier, right? They were making sure you're taken care of. We had to call everybody back within minutes. I didn't have to wait, but here's the deal. I'm back in the office. I'm here to help you in any way. Call me back. Guess what I did? Text him, right? Text him in that regard. Hey, look, man, I was on a radio show. We just make sure you're taken care of. We are over and above what we do here. Blah, blah. Call me back when you get this. Guess what else I did? Email. Actually, you know what? I couldn't get his email. We didn't have it yet. So you know what I did? Facebooked him. I spoke to him. He had two names, like Mark. One was his son, one was him. I wasn't sure which one he was. I Facebooked him too. And by the way, I found out when I Facebooked him that I knew he played music in a band. So, guess what happened? An hour later, he called me back. He had some bad energy. I'm like, oh, man, what's up, Mark? I just want to make sure you take care of. Sorry about any miscommunication there. Blah, blah. By the way, I saw you playing in the band. You going down to Florida next month, huh? Guess what he did? Loved it. Happy as Guess what we did? Booked an appointment, right? For a guy who wasn't happy before, but guess what it is? Boom, I'm hitting every single area of that. You got to do that right now. And so that's from someone who wasn't even happy. Why is that? Because you're showing them you're going over and above when most agents are lazy. And so that's a key part there for you guys with that. Any takeaways or questions about that? What am I doing? I want a four-prong approach, and I want a multifaceted, meaning it's going to compound over time. Don't be lazy here. This is where you got to make money right now. Okay? Why is that? You understand psychology, how people work.